I've been watching a lot of atheist YouTubers recently, a lot of debates with the Christians about the legitimacy of God and, Jesus Christ and being a savior and such. And I noticed something really common with all their arguments. They seem to constantly say we're the ones who have to prove ourselves.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're the ones who say a God is real. If you hadn't brought it up, we wouldn't even be discussing it. But you claim something is so, and we're telling you to convince us. But get this, it's also your job to convince yourself. If the reasons for your belief don't resonate for other people, then perhaps you need to re-examine them. But it's not up to us to prove there is no God, because we're not even saying that. Even if there is a God, what we're saying is that you have failed to show us one, and thus we continue to not believe. Let's do this. Greetings, fellow space travelers. BionicDance here. First things first. You takes your phone, you turns it like this. Vertical video is a sin. Give us widescreen, kiddo. Now, I have to confess, some part of me is horribly suspicious that this is satire or parody. I mean, goth Christian chick who, as you'll see, makes some of the worst arguments in favor of her religion. But unfortunately, those arguments are often made in earnest by some people, so satire or not, I'm gonna address them.
But they can just sit there and just fucking talk nonstop and just denounce everything we say. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous, honestly. I don't get this. Like, if it's so fucking easy to come to such a conclusion, then why not just fucking show us your evidence? I don't understand.
Show you our evidence for what? Like I said, if nobody brought up the existence of a deity, we wouldn't even be discussing it. The only reason we have anything to say on the matter is in response to you. And we do show evidence for why your claims don't hold up. We have tons of evidence for why religious claims fail, whether it's Genesis or historical inaccuracies or the use of faith as a legitimate source of knowledge. There are arguments of logic and tangible science and history which contradict a lot of very critical points in things like the Bible or the Quran. But if you want arguments independent of your claims that aren't in response to you, I have to ask why. Because from my perspective, it looks like all you're really saying is, it's not fair.
It's so weird, right? Like, usually, if you want to call someone else a liar, you usually have to have some, evidence or proof. Because that would technically be a negative claim. But no, for some reason, it's not the same thing for Christians and atheists. They view as if, no, they're in the right, and we must prove them wrong. Is this making sense? Is this making sense yet, or?
No, it's not making sense, but that's because you're looking at it the wrong way. You're not being called a liar, though perhaps many theists should be, and you're not even necessarily being told that you're wrong, at least not by everybody, but rather being told that your claim has failed its burden of proof. Even if it ultimately turns out that you're right, no religious person has ever been able to show it. But it's not our job to show you're wrong. It's your job to show you're right. Even if we don't bother to argue with you, that doesn't mean you win the argument, because you can still be wrong. It's your job not just to convince people and yourself, but to make sure you're correct.
Also, the second thing to say, which is, oh my god, you talk about how evolution is practically a fact at this point.
Because of tons upon tons of evidence and study.
I can understand to a certain extent. Slowly things kind of change over time, but in general, I don't notice any major differences.
That's probably because you haven't been around for tens of millions of years. Heap enough subtle changes together and you'll get some pretty weapons-grade differences going on.
The idea that fucking humans come from, monkeys, and those said monkeys came from some, weird fish species? That's so fucking weird to me.
And it should be weird to you, because that's not what evolution is. What I can never figure out, seriously, I have no idea which it is whether our theist friends genuinely don't understand how evolution works, or if they think coming up with a silly version and ridiculing that is somehow a legitimate argument. Because I'm trying to think of a time when a God-botherer has tried to debunk actual evolution. Not humans coming from monkeys, not crocoducks, actual evolution by natural selection. I'm trying to think of when that's ever been done. Because these ridiculous big print children's coloring book versions of fairy tale evolution are not real arguments. It might convince other people who don't understand evolution. It might amuse people who are already creationists. But it's not a real argument based in an accurate understanding of the concept.
There isn't even any real evidence for that. That's the worst part. Like, I can understand them believing such a claim if there's evidence, but there's none. There's literally none. It's never been proven. That's the reason why it's called a theory, not like a fact.
It's myopic, long debunked statements like that which make me think this is satire. It makes me sad because there are people out there who say this and mean it. There is tons of evidence for evolution, transitional fossils all over the place, and the word theory in science might as well mean fact. Hypothesis is closer to what most non-scientist people mean when they say theory. And everybody should know this by now. It's been said over and over and over. It's why I'm so uncertain about theist arguments. Do they really get it, but think that ridicule is a legitimate argument? Or are they still that genuinely ignorant? Is this video serious or satire? I honestly can't tell.
Like, I don't... Whatever. Fucking... It's... I know, like, I'm smiling right now, but I'm just like, I'm kind of angry right now, because this is a topic that I get really heated about. I don't... Oh my god. It's so frustrating. It's so fucking frustrating. They act like they know everything. Like they know exactly what's going on at each and every point. Like it's okay to not know the answer to everything. It's completely fine.
But it's not completely fine to just make shit up and tell us it's real, and that if we don't accept it, we'll be tortured for eternity. That shit isn't okay. But you expect us to believe it without proof, without logic and reason, just on your say-so, or else. I hope I don't look that stupid. I'd hate to give you the wrong impression.
It's so weird. I've pondered over this time and time again, and I can't think of any good reason, really, to be an atheist. Like, it makes no sense to me.
I'm an atheist the exact same way I'm an Loch Ness Monsterist. Nobody has managed to prove either one is real, so I'm not a believer. I mean, how is this supposed to go? Am I supposed to start as a God believer and then become a non-believer after? Because it doesn't work like that. I wasn't raised religious, so I never became religious. And because nobody who believes in one has been convincing, the number of gods I believe in is 0. So I'm an atheist. How does that not make sense?
I don't know how to do this YouTube thing. This is my very first video, so please be kind.
Yeah, no. You're not getting a pass for being a newbie. Make rotten arguments and it's lock and load. Until next time, fellow space travelers, this is BionicDance saying don't run on automatic. Instead, please think.
Even YouTubers need Ferraris. Please donate on Patreon.
So, who wants cake? You have to rate first.